Educational institutions and hospital workers has threatened to down their tools if the Ministry of Education fails to implement the 2017-2021 Public Universities Collective Bargaining Agreement. According to KUDHEIHA, it has been 11 months since the court ruled that the Inter-Public University Council Consultative Forum implements the CBA.
Solidarity forever.
Kenya Union of Domestic Hotels, Educational Institutions and Hospital Workers want the government to indicate when the 7.2 billion shillings arrears of salary implementation of the CBA will be paid to members.
There has not been communication about from the ministry, IPCCF, indicating on how we are going to be paid our money since our CBA 2017-2021 was signed and registered by Industrial Court. That our CBA for 2017-2021 needs to be financed with 7.2 billion shillings. And that those are arrears because the CBA is already expiring on the 30th of June 2021.
The union threatening to undertake industrial action if the ministry fails to implement 2017-2021 Public Universities CBA with KUDHEIHA as per the court ruling.
Kama hiyo pesa itakuwa kwa akaunti zetu by 30th of June, wafanyikazi wa universities wako na jukumu na wako na haki ya kutenda yale yanatakiwa kutenda kikatiba. Na katiba yetu inakwambia section 41 lazima tuendelee na majadiliano, na wakati majadiliano itakuwa haiwezi kuendelea, kuna kitu kinaitwa right of strike. Sisi hatutaki kwenda mgomo, lakini tunadai haki yetu, na haki yetu ni 7.2 billion shillings. Sisi tuko na haki ya kwenda mgomo wakati wowote, na tutafuata taratibu yote ile inatakikana kikatiba. Kwa hivyo tunapeana notice ya kwamba ikifika tarehe 30 na tujaribu 7.2 billion shillings, tutafuata katiba.
This even as it opposed the move by the government to freeze pay hikes for all public officers for 2 years.
The ministry and the universities have been able to pay 6.6 billion shillings. We are worried that with the emerging issues of SRC, that our CBA for 2017-2021 needs to be financed with 7.2 billion shillings. And that those are arrears because the CBA is already expiring on the 30th of June 2021.
This week, the Salaries and Remuneration Commission announced the freezing of pay hikes for all public officers for 2 years. SRC citing physical challenges and efforts to tame runaway wage bill as the main reasons, with the hardest hit being teachers and elected officials.
To release resources for investment in the priority areas, the wage bill to revenue and to GDP ratios must take a trajectory towards achievement of the target ratios.
The fact that COVID pandemic has hit us very hard as a people, and it's during these moments that we have to engineer new ways of finding solutions.
So when government is proposing that perhaps we should think of withholding increments for 2 years, don't go to war with government. It will not result in anything. Because you fight a war that will end with something.
KUDHEIHA wants public universities to have some sense of autonomy and be allowed to form individual commissions to regulate fair labor practices as enshrined in the Constitution. KUDHEIHA has in the meantime urged the government to consider increasing capitation for universities to enable the institutions meet their financial obligations.
We are no longer increasing the capitation, instead and decreasing the capitation of the universities. This is the wrong approach. This is the wrong way of doing things. And this is all done without public participation from the stakeholders.
Reporting for Channel 1 News, I'm Jackie Wumbiru.